Before I was into cars, it was basically bikes at the beginning, right? So middle of COVID, I'd always been riding mountain bikes, repairing bikes, and during COVID, there was a lot of bike shops were backed up. So I decided to start offering my bike repair service as a house call thing. So that's where I first learned how to repair and how to fix things. When I was in Japan, I saw this RX-7 specialty shop where they only sold RX-7s, like just generation and ones newer. And I just fell in love with the look of this. And from that moment, I was like, look, I want an FC RX-7. The looks is just a iconic 80s styling with kind of the coupe, really aerodynamic shape. Exactly, kind of a little boxy. And then the engine, it's a rotary engine, so they only come in RX-7s. They're not a normal piston engine. They can rev higher. They just drive so much differently than a normal piston engine. And that's kind of what I love about this car. It's just unique. You don't see every day. And I love the white. First thing I did was I redid the interior. So the interior before it was trashed. Stains on the carpet, headliner was sagging, like the carpet was in shambles. So I took all the carpet out, put a new one in, door panels, replaced that, headliner, reupholstered it, and that was basically the first thing I tackled, I think. Interior, making it nice. Hardest part of, this car, kind of repairing it? I think it was the paint, really. Because originally it was red before, now you'd see it's white. Before it was red, so I had to strip the whole car of its parts, every single door seal, door panel, bumpers, taillights, moldings, everything. That all had to come off, and I also had to sand the whole car down, do bodywork myself, and that itself took 30 hours of maybe just hard work. And after I got it painted, I had to put everything back together again. So it was just that whole process that I had to go through. I think that was the toughest in terms of time. I think that just seeing it all come together, right? Especially because it took me a year or two to finally get it to this position where it is right now. So just doing something from coils, suspension, brakes, the paint was a major change. Wheels, tires, interior, just tweaking it little by little to make it what it is now. And just that, knowing that I did it all myself is just the most gratifying part. And just the knowing that I earned all my money, I paid for every single part on this car is just something that's really important to me.
That's cool. That's really cool.
I think what I've done, basically, the coolest part about it, it's I tried to collect a bunch of parts that people usually wouldn't have. Like the steering wheel, for example, it's custom engraved by this tuner in Japan called, a lot of people probably know it, it's called Rocket Bunny or Pandem. So the guy, the CEO of that's super famous, K Mira, he makes the body kits for a lot of different cars. And I went to his workshop, had my wheel laser engraved by him. And I have another signature that's Rob Dom. He's called the maybe rotary god. He knows everything about rotaries, is super famous. I have it signed by him. So I think that's kind of the coolest part about this car, kind of if you know type thing. Yeah. For someone looking to buy RX-7, I'd say get into it, try it out, but also do your research beforehand, because it's not a car that you can just hop into and drive and just, that's going to be reliable if you don't take care of it. It's such a unique car if you know about this and if you can do this maintenance. It's an amazing car, it looks great, it gets a lot of attention. Every single time I drive this car, there's always at least one or two people that's nice car. If people know what this is, and it's so it's a really cool car.